You lost somebody? I did. You catch whoever did it? No, not yet. Tell me when you do. I'd like to know how it feels. Welcome to Should You Watch This with a Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends, take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? Have regrets. Get revenge.
How much do you know about Bond? His MI6 says he's difficult to control. Nice way of saying that everything he touches seems to wither and die.
If you could avoid killing every possible lead, it would be deeply appreciated.
I'll do my best.
I've heard that before.
Quantum of Solace, rated PG-13.
Joining me today is reoccurring guest, Quantum of JJ. Welcome back to the show, my man.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Quantum of Solace.
So we are continuing our review of all the Daniel Craig Bond films. And just so you know, or need a refresher, JJ is seeing these films for the first time. I'm calling it the Bond Extravagance. Make sure your gun is loaded and no one is tailing you as you settle in and listen to our review and breakdown of Quantum Leap of Solace. Also, by the way, we are live in JJ's home. We have a small dog named Cooper who may make some noises.
He also watched the movie. We'll hear his takes in a minute.
So if you hear some clopping, he's just enjoying some doggy treats. Just take it in, okay? But welcome to the show. The description for this one. James Bond tries to stop an organization from eliminating a country's most valuable resource. The most vanilla description of all time, maybe? Like, it's half a sentence?
Yeah.
Doesn't really describe anything?
Not a complete thought, really, yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like it. I've never really liked the descriptions for these movies, but I have to do it because that's what I do. Directed by Mark Foster, director of World War Z, Monsters Balls, Stranger Than Fiction. It's good.
Is it Forster?
Foster?
I know he's a listener of the pod. Forster.
There's an R in there?
Yeah.
Did I write it wrong? I thought it was Foster.
Oh, man.
Get out of here. I'm going to look this up again.
All right.
Is there an R in it?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh. JJ is correct. It is not Mark Foster. It's Forster. What a dumb name, Mark.
No, he's a friend of the pod. Great name, Mark. Thanks for listening.
Okay, well, top builds. Let's move on. Top build stars Daniel Craig, Olga Kurylenko, sister of Andrei Kurylenko, Dame Judi Dench. Those are the top build stars.
Nice.
Runtime of 1 hour and 46 minutes, the shortest Bond film of all time.
Wow, yeah.
It didn't feel an hour and 46 minutes. It felt like a good time.
Yeah.
Like a good runtime.
Didn't feel short.
Didn't feel short.
I think it's a great length.
Yeah, I don't think this one should have been any longer than this. It was the right time.
I agree.
Rated PG-13. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says action, adventure, mystery, and thriller. No, I don't think it's a mystery.
I mean, Quantum's a mysterious organization.
Okay. IMDb says spy, action, adventure, mystery, and thriller as well. So these guys are talking together a little bit. Just want to remind the listeners that Rotten Tomatoes is currently and still permanently on blast for stealing my rating scale. You know who you are. You will be hearing from my lawyers. The rating from IMDb is 6.5 out of 10 from 475,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 64% from 282 critic ratings and 58% from 432,000 audience ratings.
A little lower than Casino Royale.
It's a lot lower.
Yeah.
And I don't really... I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more, but it seems too low in my opinion. At the time of this recording, you can stream this with the Showtime add-on to Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus. No, it's not on Paramount Plus, is it? No, it's not.
I don't know.
It is not. Actually, I don't even think it's on Amazon Prime. I'm lying to you right now. This must be some old notes. But I would like to tell you that you can watch this on your very own 4K Blu-ray if you buy it. So go to Amazon, who supposedly has it on their Prime, but is not on their Prime. And guess what? When it leaves, you'll have it on disc forever. Even during the apocalypse and everything goes to pot, you'll be able to watch James Bond movies all the time while chaos is ensuing outside of your door. So buy the movie, and if you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest Permanent Collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. All right, JJ, are you ready to get into Popcorn Reviews? The reviews!
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
All right, as usual, we have 3 1 out of 10s and 3 10 out of 10s. How would you like to receive them?
Controversial, but can we do a bottom and then a top? Bottom, top, alternating?
It's called the Whiplash. And yes, we can. Would you like to end on a high note
Yes.
or end on a low note?
No, let's start with the bottom. Give me a top.
Bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. All right, we got first 1 out of 10 comes straight to us from Santiago Josie. He gave this review, or she or they, November 9th, 2008. Another disaster yet again. After the intense action but zero Bond factor movie Casino Royale.
Hater from the beginning.
It's already
This guy came in with hate.
The filmmakers decide to pull this sequel of overall nonsense. Yes, previous Bond movies also contained tons of science fiction and unreasonable events. Yet all of them were covered with the charm and wits of the perfectly trained, smart, and handsome super spy named Bond, James Bond. Today, we have this totally unrefined dude who kills more like a gangster, who spends 99% of his time frowning or doing weird things with his mouth like Zoolander. The plot is ludicrous. The villains are even more ludicrous. I didn't even know Ludacris was in this film.
And Zoolander.
That's a lot of shout outs. Then the star actor. I saw people yawning at the theater. The best part of the movie must have been the first 5 minutes of car chases. And not because of the actor or the chasing itself, but due to the amazing Aston Martin DBS. You're right.
It's pretty nice.
Santi Josie. I find it really hard to understand how people keep on scoring this movie or its predecessors with a 7 or an 8. Something must be really wrong. 1 out of 10.
The fact that this guy didn't like Casino Royale already off to a bad start. So he came in with some bad mindset from Casino Royale, which from the last pod, we both loved.
Yeah, I don't agree. Yeah, you can't not like Casino Royale and then also take a dump on this one. So let's move on. So we're on the first 10 out of 10. I made a mistake, JJ, and I apologize. Apparently, I only have 2 10 out of 10s. So
That's fine.
we're going to end at a low note instead of what you wanted.
Let's just do a top one, and then we'll do two negative, and then we'll end on a high note.
Oh, okay. I like where your mind's at. All right. So first 10 out of 10, first of 2. This is given by Fugitive at IMDb. I like that username. He gives this review in 2008. Great sequel, but it should be seen as a sequel. Quantum of Solace. He likes to abbreviate QOS.
Yeah, that's how I call it.
I'm down. Quantum of Solace by itself would work nicely if you put a lot of thought into what's going on. But most people would rather not. They want everything spelled out for them. Well, this film won't do that. There's enough in there to help viewers fill in the blanks if they try hard, but just barely. You'd have to really study closely everything that's said. Now, if you watch Casino Royale, CR, right before QOS, then many, many things will be clear, but you'd still have to think a little bit. If that's something you'd rather not get into, then skip it. But if you like that sort of thing, this is a fantastic part 2 for you. 10 out of 10.
I like what he's saying there. You do have to think about it. I still was a little confused the first viewing.
I agree to you, and I agree to Fugitive at IMDb. And I like what he's saying, though. There's a theme there that's going to come back in the show where this is a really nice bookend, these two movies together. So just keep that in mind. All right. Our second 1 out of 10 And we'll be doing back-to-back 1 out of 10s because I'm an idiot. This one comes to you from Film Linda. Or maybe Film Linda.
You're holding your hands on your hips when you say that.
Because it kind of feels like I should be. Have a new Coke with the new Bond. Bring Fields back. Was New Coke coming out in 2008?
What?
Do you remember New Coke?
What a weird way to start this review.
New Coke. What a terrible connection to New Coke and Quantum of Solace.
POS, yeah. Don't understand.
There's no product placement of Coke in it, okay? Let alone New Coke. All right, let's move on. I am a huge Bond fan. I'm going to read this like a girl, if that's all right with you. Because Linda seems like it should be a lady. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge Bond fan. Books and movies. I loved Casino. She just doesn't want to say Royale. Just
Casino?
Maybe she loves just Casino.
Casino with Robert De Niro, that Casino?
Oh, maybe. She's talking about Casino. Oh, I love that movie too.
Yeah.
Linda.
Thanks.
Love Casino. Music, credits, gags, plot. Just watched it again. I will shell out bucks to see Daniel Craig's chest and his 1,000,000-watt smile. Both MIA in this movie, except for a nanosecond. They shot it in Italy, for crying out loud. Couldn't they scare up a Lamborghini or a Testarossa for Bond to play with? No great cars. No sex. Just talking about self-hate. No gadgets. Dench was wasted. Feeble plot like bad 70s TV. Did anyone else notice that the girl's backstory was lifted from Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls? I mean, we're dropping From Whom the Bell Tolls references in this review.
Going from New Coke to Hemingway is quite the leap.
Oh, man.
The quantum leap.
I told you these were good. Maybe that's why I only gave us 2 10 out of 10s because of this review from Linda. She goes on to say she has a note for the producers. She's shouting out the producers right
Okay,
now.
let's hear it.
And she bullets it out like she was giving a PowerPoint presentation. So keep that in mind. Number 1, bring back Gemma Atherton as the Bond girl in the next one. Say that they made a mistake in killing her in the Quantum. I'm sorry, everybody. That's a spoiler alert. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But Linda, it's Linda's fault, not mine.
Yeah,
So blame Linda. She's got it all. The Bond style, the wit, the looks. And smart enough that she isn't demeaning to women. Number 2, give Bond a car and some gadgets to play with. Number 3, give us the theme back. If you have to have a new Bond theme, why not use You Know My Name from Casino? Just use that again. Why would you do that? You don't need...
No.
Number 4, opening credits have to be dynamite. Picture and sound. We go to the movies so that we can stamp our feet and clap and cheer when the theme and the gun barrels slam onto the screen. And number 5, sex please. Wouldn't it have been nice in Quantum if Bond had tried to drown his sorrows by going AWOL, getting drunk, and having a whole lot of meaningless sexual encounters?
Bro.
But he really seemed to be over it at the end of Casino when he said, "The bitch is dead." Let's not have a Bond who lingers and gets involved. Fields is just the right amount of casual. And last but not least, number 6, we'd like to laugh. The world is a disaster, so give us some escapism. The wait isn't over. It's just the beginning. 1 out of 10. There's a lot to unpack with Linda here. And I apologize for laughing. It's just too much. This lady.
It's a lot.
I can't believe where she went. So many places. So many places.
The main thing I got out of it, she's a dirty girl.
I just took a drink of Mountain Dew and I spit it all over my body. You gotta warn me, dude.
That's what she wanted. She wanted sex. She wanted Daniel Craig. She wanted hot Bond girls. Oh, she wanted it.
Can you give me a paper towel or something? Dude. I tried to keep it in.
Dude.
All right. Okay, we're back. We did a little cleanup. I got a lot of soda all over myself. Okay, we decided we're going to do 2 10 out of 10. Do we need to talk about Linda anymore? I think we're good. I think we need to just leave Linda.
I could spend the whole podcast talking about that review with Linda,
my
but we
gosh.
should probably move on.
Listen to me. I might not. This is getting a little crazy. We need to do one more 1 out of 10. It seems like I only have one or two. So we only have two. 2 10 out of 10s and 2 1s out of 10. All right. So we're going to go back to a 10 out of 10.
All right.
I have 3 10 out of 10s. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, let's keep going. Normally I'm at my computer, so it's just a little different right now. All right, the next 10 out of 10 is from, this is the last one. and let me tell you, this one is, we should never do these in person. We're just too laffy taffy. Okay.
It's all Linda's fault.
Listen, Linda messed us up. She derailed us. And you made me do a spit take. Okay. Did you know that Sean Connery is not dead?
What?
He's just given a review of Quantum of Solace.
Okay.
Sean Connery, 62, says, one of the better Bond films. I saw the film on its premiere here in Stockholm, so Sweden.
Yeah.
And when the movie ended, I was impressed. Daniel Craig is perhaps the best Bond ever. His style and elegance is brilliant. The story starts where Casino Royale ended. The plot is thin and concise compared to CR, and its plot is not near the high class of CR's plot, but it's still a plot that makes sense, and that's good. But strong plots have never been a strong point in the Bond series, except for CR. Am I right? Although some reviewers have been criticizing the movie for not being Bond, but simply being Jason Bourne and the humor is gone, I must say that I was very impressed with the movie itself, and the directing by Mark Forster was better than I expected. He's a director of dramatics, and we do get to see some character depths. The action is fast and shaky, but since I'm a Bond fan, I can accept the James Bond of today. I really enjoyed the action very much. The opera sequence was top-notch. Olga Kurylenko as Camille is good. Olga may be one of the toughest Bond girls ever. Matthew Amalric as Dominic Green makes a good and trustworthy act. Just a simple villain with no plans of taking over the whole world, just like Mads Mikkelsen, Le Chiffre, Giancarlo Gianni, Jeffrey Wright, and Gemma Atherton, Poor Fields, does it well. And finally, Judi Dench as M does it with excellence. Some true Bond fans may be disappointed due to the film's action and little dialogue compared to Casino Royale and the Bond. James Bond line has been removed. And Q and Moneypenny does not show up, and all the gadgets are not existent. Well, I can accept this. Otherwise, we would get the same pompous mess like in Die Another Day, the film that totally killed James Bond. I give Quantum of Solace a 9 out of 10, even though his review is a 10 out of 10, being one of the better Bond films, and please accept it for being a sequel of Casino Royale.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, Sean Connery coming through from the dead. I think he's right. It was a little blowhardy, but I thought his review was good.
Yeah. I thought he did a good assessment. Assessment, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And that's all the reviews we have. It was all over the place. We got through it. I think that's why I only picked 2 because they were a little long.
Yeah.
So they're over. It's over. You thought you were going to get 2 more. You don't. But I do have something. JJ gave me some homework, and I did it. I did what the teacher asked, and the homework was who were the actors that were going to be Bond but didn't get selected? Because there was such negative hype over Daniel Craig being selected. So you brought up last time in Casino Royale that it was
Henry Cavill.
The other 2 that I heard were Hugh Jackman. Mm-hmm. I don't know about an Aussie Bond.
I don't hate it.
The next list is Sam Worthington. Mm-hmm. I don't like cross that one off the list. Rupert Friend. Who is that? Don't know.
Don't know Rupert.
Alex O'Loughlin. I don't know Alex. Clive Owen.
Okay.
Little old, maybe? At the time? 2008?
Where is Clive Owen, by the way?
He is with... I was just going to say, who's that guy that just passed away? R.I.P. The Richard Simmons. He's with Richard Simmons, dude. I don't know where he is, man. I want more of Clive Owen.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
I don't know.
Clive, you tell us what you're doing, please. Thank you. We got Clive Owen, Doug Ray Scott. If you look him up, you'll like recognize his face. He looks like a Bond.
Can a Doug be a Bond?
No. Jillian McMahon? Is that a lady? Are they going to do a lady Bond?
Maybe.
Goran Visnyuk. I don't know who that is. Here's a couple more that were just rumors. Those were like they were out there. Those other names that I just said. These are rumors. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I actually like this as a pick.
Okay.
And I kind of hope he gets picked for the next Bond. He's the guy from Bullet Train. I like him as Bond, and he's huge. He's buff too. Tom Hardy.
That would be interesting.
It would be interesting, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little different. Idris Elba.
Yeah, I've heard this one quite a bit.
I kind of like it.
I do too.
I kind of like it a lot, actually. Idris Elba. Cillian Murphy.
That one I thought about too. He could pull it off, but then I kind of want Killian to do other movies, not be stuck in the Bond world.
Yeah, I like him doing what he's doing.
Exactly.
I like him staying where he is. Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
I don't mind that one. And Luke Evans. He's the new Jack Reacher on Prime. I don't mind that one either. He's hulking, though. He might be too big.
Hardy's huge.
Hardy can't, because he does MMA fighting on the side.
Yeah.
Or not MMA, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, like as a hobby. And he like wins tournaments low key. Yeah, the only ones I would say I would be down with are probably Aaron Taylor Johnson or Idris Elba.
My vote would be Idris.
Okay. I like that. That brings us to the most exciting category in podcasting. Should or shouldn't you watch this? 5 reasons why you should watch QOS, because we're cool like that. And then let me know if you have any other reasons, JJ. Number 1, if you like James Bond and you like Daniel Craig as Bond, I would say you have to watch this. If you went out on a limb and said, I'll watch Casino Royale, and you're like, I kind of like this, you need to follow it up with Quantum of Solace.
Agreed.
Number 2, if you like a good spy film sprinkled with revenge, this is for you. Number 3, if you want to see what the Americans are up to, we're featured in a very bumbling way in this one. This is for you. Number 4, if you want to see a woman covered in crude oil. a la retro Bond films, this is for you. We've already spoiled it, I'm sorry. But yeah, there's a lady covered in crude oil. And number 5, last but not least, I kind of think this runtime is perfect and another one reason to watch this in the series. It's a nice dainty treat. Just take it in and let's move on to a more weighty Skyfall, which is coming next.
Yes.
Any other reasons that
all great reasons? No, I think you hit it. I really like that it's a direct sequel. It picks up right after CR. I just feel like by making a sequel, the consequences feel more real. Mm-hmm. And there's immediate fallout that he's dealing with.
Immediate, yeah. And that's true. That's the best reason to watch this. And I didn't even put it on here, but it's the sequel. It's very tied to Casino Royale. And I believe it makes both movies better if you see them together.
And watching them back to back fairly...
within a couple of frame, if you watch really one weekend and then the next weekend, it's perfect.
Now the other Bonds are not like this.
No.
Okay.
No, not. I mean, there's some themes and people that kind of come in and out of the Daniel Craig Bond films, and especially in the other Bond films, there's not very many. I think there's only one other Bond film of the old 70s Bond films that there was an actual sequel to. This is the second time they've done it, and I think it's good.
It's the right choice. And I like that you mentioned the runtime. I think an hour 45 is perfect for this.
Yeah, I love it. If it was 15, 20 minutes longer, I think it would have suffered even more than what people thought it,
True.
How they reviewed it. Okay, any other reasons?
Nope.
Let's get into by the numbers.
Blank.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
All right, dude. What do you think the budget was on Quantum of Solace? QOS. I'm sorry. I need to be more cool.
Over 100. Wasn't CR 150?
Mm-hmm.
So this has got to be double. Like, this could be 200?
230, dude, for an hour and 46 minutes.
I mean, they go to 11 locations. They have, like, action sequence after action sequence.
That's wild. And the box office haul will surprise you too, actually. Given that it got bad reviews, bad press, all this other stuff, it made $591 million.
Whoa. That's quite a bit more than CR.
Listen to this, 169 domestic in the U.S. and 422 million international.
Dang.
So everyone outside the U.S. liked it a lot more than the Americans did.
Yeah, that's a lot higher than what I thought.
The third highest grossing James Bond movie after Skyfall and Casino Royale. So it's very impressive for a movie like this to have made that much money. Maybe that's a testament to Casino Royale, really.
Yeah.
People are coming back after that movie, so...
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
All right, here's a couple of numbers for you. In an interview, and you love numbers, so I kind of stacked
some numbers.
Yeah, I stacked them for you.
Stats on stats.
In an interview, the producer explained about the name Quantum of Solace, because it is weird. It's QOS. It means that a relationship cannot be salvaged unless there is a quantum of solace between the two parties. Quantum meaning measure, and solace meaning comfort. So if they're not willing to share that, then their relationship is not redeemable. In our case, it is a couple of things. Bond is looking for a quantum of solace after his experiences in Casino Royale, and quantum also happens to be the name of the villainous organization in the film, a precise figure defining the comfort, humanity, and fellow feeling required between two people for love to survive. If the quantum of solace is zero, the love is dead. I've always wanted to dive deep into Quantum of Solace, and there it is. That's as deep as I can go.
Love that you brought it up. I had this in my beef. I don't like the title.
I don't like it either. I don't like it at all, actually.
I think it's a bad title. I saw some in interviews. Craig was kind of defending it.
He
was. And, did his best to support it, but I think could have been a better one chosen.
Yeah, we could do a brainstorm session. We'd come up with a better title. Just call it Quantum.
Much better.
We already improved it in 1 second. Just call it Quantum. You'll love this. So this is not a number, but it's related to talking about Quantum of Solace. The literal translations of the film's title in other foreign countries, this is the names that they gave this film. A Quantum of Consolation.
Worse.
That's Germany. Russia calls it Quantum of Mercy. Mexico and Canada called this movie 007 Quantum.
These are not better.
Not better. Croatia says A Grain of Comfort.
Nope.
That's the name they gave.
These are worse.
A Grain of Comfort. Argentina and Brazil called it 007 Quantum of Solace. Nothing new there. And then Japan called...
Yes, I've been waiting for the Japan one.
Japan has a colon, okay? 007 colon, Reward of Comfort.
Ooh, that's the best one.
Reward of Comfort.
Did they also have the 7 rules, like the CR, Japanese?
No, I couldn't find those. Dang. They didn't... I think the pamphlet, they dropped that in Japan.
Yeah.
Guess how many rounds of blanks were shot in this movie for training, testing, and filming?
Thousands.
200,000 blanks.
Yeah.
Lots of shooting going on in this film. There are 900 visual effects in this movie.
Dang.
That surprised me. That's high.
It's too many.
It's too many. Daniel Craig was injured at least 3 times during the making of this film. Did you hear any of that? Did you look that up?
I did not see any of this.
Listen to this. The most prominent ones included an injury to his face, which required 4 stitches. Not too bad. Another to his shoulder, which required 6 surgical screws to be inserted in an operation, and his arm in a sling. If you look at some of the promotional images, he's got an arm in his sling.
Oh, Daniel.
And then his hand was injured when one of his fingertips was sliced off.
What?
He laughed these off, noting that they did not delay filming, and he joked his finger wound would enable him to have a criminal career. He also had minor plastic surgery on his face.
Whew.
I
DC has some work done this film.
I mean, he's doing work on this one.
Yeah. Props to DC.
The media in 2008 reported that Gemma Arterton once had 6 fingers on each hand.
Huh?
This is a condition known as polydactyly. Polydactyl, like a pterodactyl, but with 6 fingers. She called it her little oddity. And I looked this up, dude.
Pterodactyl with 6 fingers?
I looked this up. She was on some talk show, and she had the talk show host feel her little nub. She had 2 fingers cut off.
Wait, what are you talking about right now? Oprah's over here filling these nubs?
She had 12 fingers. Or no, 12. Yeah, she had 2 extra ones.
Yeah.
They cut him off. The talk show host, I wish I would have remembered who it was. It was a guy. It wasn't Oprah. But they asked her if she kept her fingers. She said no.
Oh.
She didn't keep them.
What would she do with them?
Put them in a jar. Just
Put them in her freezer?
they're her fingers. She should save them.
I would, if I had extra fingers and they were cut off, I would keep them.
Yeah, for Halloween decoration.
Nah, just keep them in my freezer.
This is coming out.
Remember the good times?
In October. So yeah.
Halloween Scream.
Gemma Arterton, you need to keep those little oddities.
Those little nubs.
Okay, reportedly, Daniel Craig was paid £4.5 million for this movie, more than twice as much than the £2 million he received for Casino Royale.
Not surprising. I figured his salary would just double and double with each film.
And he deserves all those pennies.
Yeah,
he
hearing
worked
about
hard.
all the shit he had to go through. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This is a very interesting one. The sunglasses worn by Daniel Craig in this movie were Tom Ford, TF0108 919V, with a semi-platinum rhodium frame, black leather temple tips, and smoke blue lenses. As of February 2020, they're being offered for sale online for $5,000 to $7,000 a pair.
Whew.
I mean,
Tom Ford.
am I buying the ones that were on Daniel Craig's face? Because I'm not spending $7,000 if it didn't touch his skins.
It's a lot of money.
The movie was filmed in more locations than any other Bond film. You just brought this up. The UK, Panama, Chile, Italy, Mexico, and Austria. It's wild that they fit that much into such a short movie.
They go all over. The Italy scenes are probably my favorite.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Chile's Atacama Desert, where the finale was filmed, is the driest region on Earth, with no record of any measurable rainfall ever having occurred there. Did you know there was a place on Earth that just had no water at all?
Dry desert.
Dry bones. The Perla de las Dunas hotel in the movie. I wondered this. When I saw this the first time, I was like, who builds a hotel in the middle of the desert with no water? Mm-hmm. It's actually called the ESO Hotel, which is part of the Paranal Observatory in northern Chile. The hotel is only open to scientists and astronomers who work or visit the observatory, and it is not open to the public. So you can't go stay at this hotel. It's
Yo,
only
that's crazy. I didn't know that was a real hotel.
for scientists only.
Yeah.
You got to flash your science badge and you can get in. I don't have one.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. The Aston Martin DBS makes a return in this movie due to a 3-movie deal, $100 million deal that Ford Motor Company, which also surprised, it doesn't surprise me. I knew this already, but Ford has the exclusive rights for vehicle production placement rights for Bond films. So British-made car owned by an American company, $100 million deal.
That seems quite a bit for 3 movies. $100 million? Like, are they getting their money back on that?
Well, if you remember on our last pod, you should go listen to Casino Royale. I mentioned that they destroyed three $300,000 Aston Martins. So that's $1 million right there that they just destroyed, let alone the $100 million they had to pay to be in the film. It's crazy.
Those cars are really sweet, though.
They are. I mean, if I ever make more money than I can deal with, I'm buying an Aston Martin for sure.
And the 7K sunglasses.
I will pass on those. First time that an actor, Jeffrey Wright, who has played the Bond ally character Felix Leiter. It's Felix Leiter in a consecutive Bond movie. It is only the second time that an actor has played Leiter twice. David Hedison played him in Live and Let Die and License to Kill in 1973 and 1989, respectively. I love him as Felix Leiter.
Yeah, he's one of the best characters in this movie, for sure.
I love him as an actor, and I love how he portrays him, and I love that he's just there long enough to help Bond, and you can tell he just really wants to help, and I love that. He's the only American that doesn't suck. That other guy is just a bumbling idiot.
David Harbour.
I mean, I like him as an actor, but he plays an idiot, like CIA guy.
Great mustache, though. Great mustache.
All right, 2 more. Editing this movie was so stressful that co-editor Richard Pearson was brought in to assist Matt Cheese.
Cheese.
His name is, maybe Cheese. Matt Cheese. To speed up editing, director Mark Forster only had 5 weeks to edit the entire movie. In his previous movies, Forster would take an average of 14 weeks to edit. Maybe that's why it was so short. They're like, we don't have enough time. Let's just cut it out.
The edits are one of my beasts in this movie, too. There's way too many quick cuts. Sometimes they work. Most times they don't, I felt like.
I agree. I noticed it the most in the car chase scene, which was a beautiful location, beautiful cars, great action, but there's just too much editing there.
It's too many cuts, too quick.
Yeah, I think it really hindered to the likability.
And we love our quick cuts. Tony Scott fans here, Man on Fire.
Yeah.
This one, just too many, didn't work.
I agree.
But that makes sense. They only had 5 weeks to edit it.
5 weeks versus 14. That's not enough. All right, last one. James Bond's 11 costume changes required about 420 pieces of clothing. 420. There were 9 versions of every suit that he wore in the movie. 3 were normal, 3 were battered with blood and debris, and then 3 were waterlogged. In addition to being also battered with blood and debris on the waterlogged ones.
Dang.
I mean, the costume department, hats off to you.
Not only do they fit DC, but all his stuntmen with those suits too.
Correct. That's probably including his stuntman, probably.
Crazy.
All right, the only thing I have left is kill count.
For the movie?
Yeah, and I'm not going to describe who kills who, even though we've already spoiled one of them. I got very conflicting numbers here. So I had two numbers. Do you want to guess how many people died?
Not a lot, I feel like.
The first number I got was 35.
Okay.
The second number I got was 26.
All right. So we'll say 30.
So between, we got a little clippity clappity clap from Cooper. So we got like 6.
It's the doggy door.
I thought it was his little fingertip or his fingernails. So we've got 15 death. We got a 15 gap. There's a gap. So I'm not really sure. Between 35 and 26. That's about right. I feel like that's
not 15.
I kind of feel like that's high. I don't remember that many people dying.
Yeah, I would have said it like 15, 20. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say at least 15 to 20 would have been my guess. So
Bond doesn't do a lot of killing in this one.
No, but he does. He kills who he needs to kill, and that's what's all.
That's his solace.
Yeah. He needs a solace. He needs to take a solace.
But he doesn't need a lot of it, just a quantum.
A quantity of solace. All right, anything else you want to talk about before we break for next week?
I think we covered a lot this pod. The Linda review, the numbers, I think we got it all.
All right. At this point, there will be spoilers up ahead amongst the ones that we've already spoiled. So if you want to watch it, then come back next week and join us for a breakdown of I Need Solace. Which kind do you ask? The quantum kind from 2008. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life for the cost of a cup of coffee. you can help the Popcorn Priest support his movie addiction and allow him to keep giving you these labor of love reviews by visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Easier than remembering how to make a vodka martini the Vespa way. As always, thanks for listening, and thanks to my special guest, Mr. I would like to walk inside your strawberry fields, JJ.
We'll see you next week.
Join us next week for part 2 of I'm So Thirsty, I Could Drink Some Oil from 2008. We will see you next week.